Hi, this is Johan Niemann from Evergrey. You are listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
To me, a lot of people, a lot of noise, so I get I get tired very easily.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to go to Bimini?
Yeah. I had to at least set my foot there and go.
Yes.
I've been to the Bahamas.
Right.
Bucket list check.
Oh, you've never been to the Bahamas ever?
No.
Interesting.
I've done this cruise twice before, and both times we went to Turks and Caicos.
So I've been on this like 8 times, and that's the 2 I missed.
Yeah.
For some reason. Those are supposed to be pretty beautiful too, though, right?
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
That's on my list of things to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to talk about me.
No way.
Let's talk about Evergrey.
Yeah.
How's the response on the cruise been so far?
Really good. We're really happy because people like the new record and people, like seeing us play, and we haven't been to the States in a while, so it's been really positive.
13th record, and I don't know, what is it, 40 years, 35 years?
Something like that. I don't know.
Ever imagine you'd still be doing that?
No. No, I mean, especially, a few years ago, Henrik and Jonas left, and, the bass player at the time, Jari, left, and then, there was, turmoil and, very unsure about how the future would look. But then, I joined, and, Hannes, who now plays in Sabaton, drummer, joined, and we've been going at it. And then, of course, Henrik and Jonas came back, and since then it's been amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're, you just mentioned the 13th album, when you guys are writing, how difficult is it to not write the same record or two? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, it's quite...
Because I guess you want to stay with your brand too, so you can't rewrite.
Yeah, absolutely.
History.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Right.
But at the same time, the way we work is that we really don't want to make the same record.
Right.
So it's more like we try to find other avenues to venture down, and also we don't really think about what people will think about the records.
Okay.
So we write mostly for ourselves, to impress.
Right.
It's like, oh, you gotta check out this riff, and if they like it, awesome, it stays. If not, then okay, we'll move on, find something else.
Okay.
That everybody likes. So that's the thing also. Everybody has to like everything.
So in that sense, though, you guys all writing like together in the old traditional way in a room, or is that long gone?
Sort of. We all write individually, and then we bring our ideas to we have a Dropbox folder, put everything in there, so everyone can listen to all the ideas. Then we get together and listen to everything together. All the ideas, like, oh, that's a cool riff. Everybody agrees? Yes? Good. That riff stays.
Right.
And then, oh, that sounds like a chorus. Excellent. That stays. Or sometimes people might even have almost like complete songs. Like, well, we don't need to do anything with that. Good. That stays. And then once we have like a lot of stuff, then it's like, well, then it's mostly Tom and Jonas who are actually the producer. They have the producer role,
right?
They like fit everything together. Like, oh, this riff goes good with that. Okay,
like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Heartless Portrait in my opinion anyway, seems a bit more aggressive and a bit more heavy. I don't know if that's just me, but was there a reason you went that way, or was that thought?
No,
Was a thought into that, or that's just how it happened?
That's just how that happened. We don't really have like a game plan set in stone when we going to make a record. It's like, okay, we just try to find stuff that gets us fired up and fits together. So it's not like, oh, here's a reggae song and here's a black metal song, and that would be weird for us. So it has to fit together somewhat.
Okay. Are you guys planning on, or what do you have planned after this? Are you going to be on the road?
No, we have a couple of festivals. We have a lot of festivals.
Yeah, I think I saw that, right? Summer Breeze.
Yeah.
Brazil, and the Nordic Noise, and what's the other one?
Mannerfest in England.
I've not heard of that one.
Yeah. And then we have Hellfest, I think, Grass Pop.
So you're
some of the bigger ones in Europe.
Quite busy.
Yeah. So yeah, that should be fun. And then in the fall, we might come to the States.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're also gonna do another European tour, I guess, and another South American run.
South America's always big in the metal, right?
Yeah, it's insane.
I've never been, but I've heard that that's where the fans are completely rabid.
Yeah, it's like Eastern Europe and Latin America. That's almost like the same temperament.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're Eastern Europe. They're insane. So it's the same vibe.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's it like touring post-pandemic, or even playing shows post-pandemic? Is it? I mean, obviously it's different, but how does it affect how you guys approach it?
It's a little different. Mainly in the interaction with the fans, because that's been. I mean, for me personally, these 2 years or whatever it has been quite hard, and being, isolated.
Yeah.
Was really weird. So when I'm out, again meeting people, it's like, that's a lot of fucking people here.
Yeah.
Get away from me. So
I think a lot of people have that social kind of, I don't know, social anxiety. I don't know if that's the word, but something like that. Yeah,
something like that. So luckily, I'm not the only one.
Right.
So a lot of people want to keep their distance. So and we gotta ease into it.
Right.
I guess. But another thing is of course the financial aspect, where things are very expensive. Like buses and gas.
Yes. I don't know what it's like in Europe, but it's pretty crazy too.
Yeah. It was a lot of bands. Like last year, we were out. We did a European tour in September, October, and there were at least 4 other bands who were supposed to tour Europe at the same time. They canceled.
Did you see Anthrax just canceled?
Yes. Anthrax, they went to England, and then they canceled the whole European tour. Yeah. And I think... I can't think of... Well, there were other bands as well.
Right.
Wow. Big bands. Why? It's no.
It's not
too
it's not
expensive.
affordable, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense in the long run, I guess.
No.
So, post-pandemic, and I just mentioned that, but I think we're going to see, or we are seeing, a cultural renaissance, right? I mean, people had all this time to work on their stuff and hone their craft, and now we're going to see this explosion. Because I know some of the bands I listen to, they put out the best records of their career, just recently, and I think you're going to see that in art and literature and everywhere, right? So maybe there's some sort of plus from that.
I think so. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that will have what's it called? A ripple effect.
Yeah.
For years to come, because people are making inspired works now, and that will inspire
and
people.
up everybody's game.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. You can't put out just another record because you have oh, the record company says we have to make a record. Okay,
Right.
because everybody's making pretty good stuff. So
Yeah, very good stuff. And also the culture of the music environment has changed too, right? Because there's almost no records anymore. It's almost like a single every 4 to 6 weeks, or
Yeah.
there's a whole new model.
yeah, that's also a weird thing to kind of relate to.
So also on the same token, then sequencing. I think there was a whole art form in sequencing, right? Like I mean,
Yeah.
I remember going to the record store and buying the record and sitting home and going, "This is the way you guys
Yeah.
created the vibe and the mood." And
Yeah.
and you don't get that with, like my son wants one song,
Yeah.
3 minutes long, and
Yeah.
maybe listen to 20 seconds of it, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, that's great. What's the next one?
Yeah, exactly. That's. I mean, maybe we're getting old, but
I know I'm getting old. I'm
Yeah.
walking this cruise and doing all this stuff.
yeah. But yeah, I have a hard time with that idea. For me, a record is a record. That's how I grew up listening
Right.
to music. I want to hear the whole
Reading
record.
the liner notes.
Yeah. Where did they?
Who you
record
thanked.
it? Yeah.
Right, yeah. All of that stuff.
All of it. Yeah. I remember. Live After Death. Our Maiden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their whole in the vinyl, you could there was this big sort of booklet
Yeah.
stuff and all the gear they were using and all the
It was a whole process.
yeah.
Yep.
Just put on the record and
Got your paper out money on a Tuesday and ran down to the store when it came out. And that's what you did, right?
Yeah.
Read everything, listen to it.
Yeah.
The way you created it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's another thing that is weird and hard to get used to, at least for me, or
Yeah.
maybe us older.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way we having grown up on that, that's the way we do our records.
Right.
There's no, let's put that song there and let's put, of course not.
Well, there has to be
there's a
flow.
very specific, flow. It has to,
And time goes into it.
yeah,
Right.
definitely. Yeah, we do these sequencing lists, and we listen to it. It's like, okay, then we all talk to each other. Maybe that song shouldn't be there. Maybe that
Right.
song should be okay. Then we make another list, listen to it.
Because as an artist, you're trying to create the ebb and flow, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a very strange world we're in.
Yeah,
So Evergrey's not really looking to do that, fall into that single model at...
no, I mean, we still enjoy making records,
Right.
And
I mean, I'm sure you release singles, but maybe
Yeah.
not in that pattern or
yeah,
whatever it is.
exactly. I mean, not. We've talked about it because that's obviously the way the world looks.
And you gotta make money.
Yeah, but we're not there yet,
Right.
and maybe we won't get there, or maybe we will. I don't know.
I still think there's enough metalheads and enough people our age or who get the scene, inherited it from their parents or whatever,
Yeah.
that get the whole
Yeah,
full length thing. Or at least I hope so.
yeah, it seems so. I mean, that's a cool thing about metalheads. They're very loyal,
Yes.
and they stick to their bands that they like and buy everything, and they want their
Everything.
kids to listen to what
And,
they listen.
and that's going to bring me to my final question. An Evergrey show
Yeah.
outside of the boat is probably multi-generational, right? Mm-hmm. Because
Yeah.
now you got people like me bringing their kids, or I dare say grandkids maybe, or whatever. But
yeah, absolutely. It's really cool. You get these people that were there from the beginning, like the first record.
Right.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. The first record is great, but then you have the ones that just came into it now, like and then going back to listen to the old stuff. Because that's what you do. If you find a band that you like, this is cool. What have they done?
right.
Oh, they have a whole catalog of stuff. Woohoo! I remember when I discovered Rush. My brother played the Presto record for me, and I loved it. I'm like, what is this? Like, oh, it's Rush. I was like, Rush? I've never heard of them. I checked them out. It's like, oh, they
Wow.
started in 74?
Right.
Jesus.
Then you work your way back to 2112 or something. And go,
Yeah,
holy shit.
exactly. It's like, oh, okay.
Right.
Yes, it's really cool, and it's so weird to be now, to be in a band where where that happens.
Yeah.
You know, people go listen to the new records, like, oh, but you have a whole career, like,
Right.
of stuff that I
You
can
didn't
listen
just
to.
drop out of the sky and release
Exactly.
the record, right?
Yeah.
But that's good. I mean, I guess that keeps it going and
Oh, yeah.
is inspiration for why you do what you do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sweet. That is pretty much all I had. I told him I keep it 15, so we're at 15.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, my friend. I hope that wasn't too bad.
No.
Hello out there.
Yes, hello out there, everyone. I'm Hal Schwartz.
And I'm Flynn McLean. Together we host None But the Brave, a podcast dedicated to the music and career of Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce and E Street Band are on tour right now for the first time in 6 years, and we're taking a detailed look at what's happening on stage in our bi-weekly episodes.
We've also been recently joined by some very exciting guests, including rock journalist Warren Zanes and Stephen Hayden, Backstreet's Magazine founder Charles Cross, and Barstool's Kirk Minahan.
If you're a diehard Springsteen fan, this is the show for you.
So please subscribe to None But the Brave on your favorite podcasting platform, and we hope to see you further on up the road.
Thank you so much. We'll be seeing you.